Hey guys, and happy Friday. So we are here in Rachel's beautiful home, and we wanted to come to you guys live today to talk about a very important topic.
And for us, that's natural, healthy, ageless beauty that you do for yourself.
Yes.
And another very important topic that is what I think is kind of falling into a lot of people's lives and laps is Botox.
Yeah.
Cosmetic fillers and other facial changing beauty techniques. So why don't you introduce yourself to my audience, and I'll be the same.
So, for Rachel, you guys, we have like 3 cameras going right now, which is pretty cool. So for those who do not know me and Rachel's audience, my name is Taylor Stone, and I'm a holistic health coach, but I really specialize in anti-aging, hormonal health, all things beauty. I love the industry, and that's why it's such a passion for me to really help women do things naturally, do things the right way, age gracefully, and have a ton of energy in the process. So that's really my passion with what I do. So go ahead for my audience.
Yes, and for your audience, I'm Rachel. I'm of Love Lean Life, and my focus is process-free living the least chemically induced life. And part of that was when I was an adult, like as I was getting into adulthood, I had really bad acne, and I was like, this will go away in my 20s, and then my 20s came and I still had adult acne, and then my 30s were creeping up on me and I still had adult acne, and I found a diet that was taking the chemicals out and treating your liver right, and kind of identifying these little sneaky things that make your way into your makeup bag, into your food, into your cupboards. And once I had cleaned those out, my adult acne went away. I had struggled with it for like 15 years. So it was really incredible.
Painful. And it's painful as a woman when you go through these certain things and you're like, well, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Is it just genetics? Is there something I can be doing differently? And that's what kind of brings us to this topic, because this is such an age of instant gratification. It's like, let's just, do this real quick, and let's just wait until things get bad, and then we'll kind of try to reverse it. And we're trying to bring to light that that's not the way you have to do things. There are preventative measures that you can do. There are things to reverse things that you've already had occur. And this doesn't just apply to the beauty industry, or like what we're talking about today is a lot of Botox, but hormones, anti-aging, fitness, diseases, cancers, nature has a way. So
and for me, part of the reason I started Love Lean Life was because I had, like you said, chalked it up to genetics for a very long time. But then at some point someone was like, no, it's in you. Like, you're doing something inside that's causing this to come out in your skin. And the same thing, I was finding, like, why I had terrible bags under my eyes and stuff. All of those things started clearing up. So for me, like, realizing this and then realizing that it applies very heavily to this anti-aging culture we're in. If you're seeing early signs of aging and you're starting to look at things like Botox, before you do that, let's look at why you're seeing these early anti-aging, this early aging. You're seeing terrible bags under your eyes. You're starting to see wrinkles before you think you should. So that's kind of why we wanted to dig into Botox, and more honestly, because we both just turned 30. I just turned 31.
And I just turned 30. So and it's not. The crazy thing is that women, we have this like idea in our head that like once we hit a certain age, then we need to start doing things, and that's just how we've learned. I didn't specifically learn that from my mother, but maybe some other women, learned that. Like my mom actually taught me. My parents are extremely healthy, both vegetarians. I am not, but I still eat extremely healthy. Obviously, she is. But my mother taught me at a very young age to start applying, moisturizer, start using, drinking a ton of water. She was always so big on making sure you drink a lot of water, and that was huge for me. But in this day and age, it's like you start to do things. Start at 20, you do this, and then start at 30, you do this, and then start at 40. And we're trying to just let you guys know that start now, whether you're 19 or you're 25 or you're 55, that you can still start now and you can still improve your skin. And the cool part about it is that once you start implementing these things, everything gets better. Everything in your body.
And when you turned 30, what was like one of the things that you felt that immediately people were like, oh, you know what you could go do? Because now that you're 30, you probably need to look into. For me, several people immediately were like, you should look into Botox, to keep those fine lines and wrinkles away now that you're 30. And I was like, oh geez, do you know something I don't know? Like, Are you seeing things in my face? Like,
right.
I remember like being in the car and pulling down the little like shield and looking in the mirror and being like, do I have 5
Now you're trying to think, you're like, what?
Yeah, because all of a sudden, and as I've gotten to this age as well, like I hear more people just saying, oh yeah, I just, I get Botox a couple times a year.
It's tossed around like it's just no big deal. Like, no big deal. You're just injecting parts of your face and paralyzing things. It's no big deal. And
I think too, like when people talk about Botox, they're not talking about what Botox really is.
Right.
And so here's some numbers for you really quickly. In 2015, 6.7 million Botox procedures happened, a lot of them being cosmetics. Now, we know that Botox is used in the medical community for other things, and we're specifically talking about just facial injections. Of those 6 million, 400,000 were men. So this isn't just like a women thing.
Right.
Men also are very concerned with Botox, but 100,000 of those treatments were women aged 20 to 29.
Think about that for a second.
That's your best
Let that digest.
That's the best skin of your life at 20 to 29.
20 to 29. So
100,000 treatments.
And a lot of these women, they're thinking like, well, I need to do it as a preventative measure. So talk about that a little bit too.
So Botox as a preventative measure is just this. You need to continue to go get Botox once you start. I mean, you can stop at any time.
It's like shaving.
Yeah.
Use that analogy.
You don't get Botox once and your wrinkles are gone. You continue to go and get these injections. And I kind of want to break down what Botox is because a lot of people think Botox and fillers are not the same thing. Botox, the thing that's been talked to me about a lot, is not a filler. It's actually a neurotoxin, and I'll tell you what it is. So this is the name, and it's probably backwards on the screen. Yeah, it might be Clostridium botulinum, and it's a naturally occurring organism in nature. It's found in soil. But it's not volatile in nature. It's not until it comes into like a vegetative state, cells start reproducing, and it produces something very toxic called botulinum toxin. And for all intents and purposes, we're going to call that Botox because that's what Botox is made of.
Yeah, because they couldn't call it that with the word toxin on the end. Yeah, attract a lot of people.
And what it is it's literally a neurotoxin.
Yeah.
And this is how powerful this neurotoxin is. So 1 gram of it could kill 1 million people. Now, mind you, we're not producing it like that.
Right.
But 1 gram of it could kill 1 million people, and 2 kilograms could wipe out the entire population of the earth. That's how toxic this substance is. Now, you're getting tiny, tiny, tiny doses of this under your skin, but what it is, it's a neurotoxin, and it interrupts the firings of your nerves to the cells around it. So your body does not tell your face to contract anymore. You're literally freaking paralyzing.
You're cutting off cells. You're I'm trying to think of a word. You're basically cutting off the connection of your body.
Your body talks to your muscles for a reason, and you're saying, hell no, I don't want these lines, wrinkles.
I don't want this part to work, but I want this part to work, kind of. Yeah, it's it's just creepy to me.
You're thinking about literally injecting a neurotoxin under your skin to prevent your muscles from moving. And while that, you may say, okay, well, it's safe. I get it. It was approved in 2002 by the FDA. We've approved this for less than 20 years.
Yeah, and there's no science of what it's doing to
long term. Like you don't know what's going to happen 40 years from now. You may start Botox in your 20s, and maybe it's completely safe by the time you turn 60, but maybe it's not, and you don't know that.
Scary part.
This is a very new drug, and it's a neurotoxin. Again, I can't stress this enough. People always say the dose makes the poison, right?
Right.
But this is a poison, and you wouldn't drink just 1 drop of bleach every day just because it didn't kill you immediately. We're looking at things that eventually are building up in your body, like you said earlier to me, which I didn't even think about. This doesn't just disappear out of your face.
This is accumulation. So if you think about in terms of nutrients, you think about nutrients that you're putting into your body, whether that's a greens juice, maybe that's a greens powder, maybe those are just different supplements. You're purposely taking those to build up immunity. You're taking those to build in your system. You're taking that to nourish your cells, to clean up anything, free radicals that may be going on. You have to apply that same concept to a toxin that you're putting in your body. It's a little different. So let's talk about like alcohol for a little bit. So people might be wondering, well, alcohol is toxic. Yes, but no. So it's a different type of toxin, first of all, that does different, it doesn't accumulate inside your body. Right. There's different things that you can do to release that. But when you're injecting a toxin into your skins,
Mm-hmm.
or your skin. It's getting into your cells.
Right.
It's a lot different. It's a lot
your
different.
body, to get rid of it, needs to process it through your liver, which is a very super important organ in your body.
Right.
It helps in over 400 functions. If all day long you're putting things in your body that it needs to get rid of, it's not doing the other things that it needs to be doing.
Right.
So you're really looking at overtaxing your liver. So this stuff is going into your face, but at the end of the day, it's traveling through your body, and your body is getting rid of it through your liver. So you are putting taxation on your liver by doing this to your body.
Right.
And I just, and again, I want to talk about, like, it's new. We don't know long-term effects.
Very new. It's very new.
We have 2002 to 2017 now
Yeah.
of data, and so here's some side effects, just to talk about when it first came out. The side effects were known: this drooping eyebrows, eyelids dropping, unwanted areas becoming numb, tingling. It can cause rashes, tenderness at the site of injection. But there's also other more substantial side effects, like blurred vision, gallbladder dysfunction, flu-like symptoms. And then in 2008, the FDA put out a announcement to say that they had actually traced back breathing and respiratory problems that had caused death from overdoses of this Botox toxin. So you're looking at, no, maybe this isn't because the doctor was incompetent, but when you're talking about something that's so potent and so toxic, and this happened over a range of uses, like medical uses and cosmetic uses, but what's happening is that Botox is going somewhere in your face, and then it's traveling to places that it's not intended to go, and that's causing that breathing and respiratory problems. Now, again, a good doctor will have a better understanding, but mistakes are made, and you just have to realize that this isn't just some frivolous putting on a little makeup or getting your hair done. Like, this is a toxin that you're putting in your body, and Botox, I feel like, is so it's so blasé about it. It's like, oh, well, it's just Botox. It's just Botox. But when if you really do your research, it's not just Botox. It's a neurotoxin.
Right. And let's do some comparisons. So the first thing that came to mind with this was aspartame. So a lot of people know this. That's in diet soda. A lot of gum has this. You got to be careful with gum. Aspartame was created around the 1970s, and so how many years is that?
It's 40 years.
Yeah, so 40 years. They're just now finding out, or within the last 10 years, of how harmful that is for you guys. They're finding out that it's causing cancers. It's causing, like, literally every disease that you could possibly think of, it causes. But that's only been within the last 10 years. So when you do the math on that, if Botox has only been around for 20 years, what is it doing? And, I do want to make one thing clear, that Rachel and I are not against cosmetic surgeries, anything of that sort. I think that if you decide at one point you want to have, a eyebrow raise, breast implants, whatever that may be.
That's good for you.
Yeah, there's risks involved in that. That you are going under the knife, but you're not putting in toxins that you're not sure what's going to happen.
And even with those types of things, people take those decisions a lot more seriously, because if you ever look at how Botox is marketed, it's non-invasive cosmetic surgery. You don't have to go under the knife. But just like going under the knife, you really, people take the time to do the research, the complications. I mean, why is there a show called Botched on TV?
Right.
Because plastic surgery is risky. Botox is almost marketed to you like it's just Botox.
Just another supplement that you can take,
you can just put it in your face,
increase your youth, or to decrease the anti-aging, or the
so
aging process.
That's where we kind of wanted to just bring a little bit of knowledge to people who might be hitting their 30s, late 30s, early 40s, and hearing what we're hearing from the cosmetic industry, from people around us. I mean, it's just like, well, you could just get some Botox. Oh, you have bags, you can get some Botox. If you don't like those lines, you can get some Botox. What can you do that doesn't involve Botox or cosmetic surgery at all? And that's kind of where we've dedicated a lot of time and effort in our own separate businesses and our own separate missions in life, of finding alternatives to basically the things that are being pushed on you as the solution, when in reality there might be easier, cheaper, better, longer term effects
that will affect every
things.
single part of your body. I did a post on Instagram yesterday about this, that when you start, I think the number one thing my clients see is that whether they're going through my detox program or my hormone program, those issues are addressed, but they have so many other things that are transformed. Their skin's better, their acne heals, their energy is amazing, they're sleeping better. So anything you put inside your body is going to affect everything. What you put inside is going to affect on the outside. So that's where we're just trying to really spread the message that what you're eating really has a huge effect. And I'll use an example. So Rachel and I went to dinner on Wednesday night, and we had a few glasses of wine and, you know, maybe a little bit too much sodium. There's nothing wrong with sodium for you ladies who are thinking that you shouldn't be eating it, but we had a little too much. I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, like I had puffy eyes, my skin was super dry. I didn't look like me. And the thing that worries me is that women are waking up seeing these things, but here's the thing too, is I know what to do to combat that kind of stuff. I know what to do in order for those things to go away. I know how to hydrate better. I know how to take a ton of supplements. I know what to do, and I know that's not the norm. So today, when I woke up, everything was back to normal. And so my fear is that women are seeing, you know, baggy eyes, or they're seeing dry skin, or whatever that may be, and they're immediately jumping to, you know, to Botox or something of that sort. And that's just it's not necessary. And that's the main thing I want to get across.
Because
it's not necessary.
Botox has its risks. Maybe it's not the most risky, but it has risks, just like any cosmetic surgery. And what if you could find something in your kitchen or do something in your sleep routine or in your beauty routine that cut that risk out? Like, what if you were getting the same effects? And here's what I want to say. If you feel like you're prematurely aging, if you're feeling those things now and you're in the panic, you can stop panicking. Like I found out, it's not always genetic. It's not always.
It's not.
It is what you're putting in that you're getting out. So you have options. If you're starting to see like crepey looking skin and you're in your 20s, something that you're doing to your body is causing that. And there are ways to fix it. There are other options besides Botox. So we're not really here to pick on Botox. We're not here to pick on cosmetic surgery. We're just letting a lot of people know who are feeling the pressure from the beauty industry, celebrities, people around them doing those things, that, you know what, you could save your money, you could save the risk involved, even if it's very minimal, and start looking at other solutions. And that's kind of what this series is going to be about. We want to show you how you can do things that you won't even think about every day. Like things that you're not even going to think about doing every day. They're just going to become habits, and they're just going to get ingrained.